Hello, YouTubers. So we're going to start at the beginning because they say that's the best place to start. So I'm going to show you how to prep a wreath base for this botanical design work that I do. So I use a straw base that is covered with saran wrap. They also, or some kind of wrap, they also sell these without this wrap, and they're just wired. I suggest buying this even though we hate plastic, but the straw sheds, so over time this is sort of a better gig. So what we're going to do, this is an 18-inch, they come in many sizes. I use a variety of 16 to 18, and anything that I need larger than that I make, and we'll someday do those as well, because they can get pretty expensive just when you think all it is really supports everything you put on it, but a necessary element. Anyway, so we're going to lay this down. There are a variety of things you can cover it with. I've tried them all, and this is what I've settled on after 30 years in this business, is Silver King Artemsia. It's fragrant, it doesn't shed, it's very durable. There are a couple other things that I have tried and worked with. What's it called? Sweet Annie. It's super fragrant, but it absolutely makes a mess. There's another product called German Status, which is best used when it's moist. It also has a nasty smell, and it also is very picky, and it does penetrate your skin and can get infected. So over the years of trial and error, I've landed on this, and it's a go-to for me. So we're going to wire it on. Wiring is the best because it really secures it around the wreath. And not only do you want to just put it on the top, you want to put it on the side as well, so that if this is hanging on, say, this wall in front of me, and you're entering the room from this way, you're going to see this side of the wreath. So I cover it all. So the front and the outer ring, not the inner ring. The other thing you could do is put this on the face of it, and you could use a moss of some sort, Spanish moss or whatever, on the exterior. Either way, dollar for dollar, makes no difference. So we're going to wire it on. I use a spool wire. This is a 22 gauge, strong enough to pull, twist. The 24 gauge is thinner, so the higher the number, the thinner the wire. And I can actually break the 24 with my hands, and I'm rugged, but anyway, this is the way to go. The spool is easy on the palm. They also make this in called a paddle shape, but that paddle just spins and spins and spins, and if you do a lot of these over time, calluses, and we don't need that. So here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the wire, and we're going to put it through the circle, pull up, and we're going to twist. Twist it off, twist it off, twist it off. Do not cut this end yet, because that's going to be our tie off as we move around the wreath. But what I like to do is take that end, just pick it in there, because if you pick it through in there instead, like through your skin, you're going to regret it. It's worse than a paper cut. So here we go. I fan it out to get more bang for the buck, because it can add up. And I break the ends a little bit, so we have maybe, I don't know, a foot to 15 inches. I want to use some of the stems, why not? Okay, and then I lay it on, and I lay it over the side as well. So I take, because I'm right-handed, I take my left hand and I hold the tips of it down, and I take this and I move it over. On the first spin, I put my thumb on this wire to hold it, otherwise it's going to shift the entire bunch of Artemisia over. So the first one I hold, and I throw it through. So I just throw it underneath so it's back in the center. I do not snug it on that side, I snug it on this side. I'm going to have to pull it down in a little bit, and I make a couple of these, moving my left hand down around it, shaping it as I go around the curve. And it does not have to cover 100% of it, just like 90% of it, because we're going to put many more layers on. So again, this is just a base which does a couple of things. It hides this ugly straw, and it provides another texture for us to pick or glue whatever it is we put on top into. So these bunches, I think they're, I don't know, 4 to 6 ounces. I use a couple of them. Okay, so sometimes you have to turn your wreath. Try and, it's a handful, but you can do it. There. You can use picks as well, but it's just very time consuming. And you really need a lot of picks. The silver picks, which I will show you at some point. I don't use them a whole lot, but when I do use them, I will show you. Wire's the best. Trust me, I've been doing this for a long, long time. Okay. There's also Artemsia. This is the family of this. It also comes in a silver queen. This is silver king, silver queen. Silver queen seems to have a more foliage than tight little seed heads, and I've just over the years preferred this one. Doesn't mean you have to. There are right and wrongs to some things, but not everything. Okay, halfway there, halfway there. These ends, not much waste, which is a good thing, because I'm wasteful with some stuff. Okay, I need to find my scissors. Here we go. Awesome little scissors. These are floral design scissors. You can buy them at any floral wholesaler. They're the best. I used to use a knife. Any florist usually has a knife in their hands, which can be kind of scary, but tool of the trade, you know. But then I found these little scissors, and they're really dynamite. Remember never to cut your wire with scissors, though. When I was young, growing up, my mom loved to sew, and I used to steal her scissors, and boy, would it irritate her, because they were obviously designed for cutting cloth. So, here we go. Let me show you some more here. Take a lump off. Here, here. I'm probably putting a little more on than I normally do, but best foot forward, right? I use a standard 16-inch wreath on most things that are not a landscape wreath, and we'll talk about those as we go. Like I'm going to say typical, but my work is not typical. But one of those wreaths where the design is absolutely circular. A 14-inch base will, with extended stems, will give you about 20 to 22-inch overall designed, finished design. And that's it's a pretty standard wreath. Obviously, you want to go bigger if you're putting one over a fireplace, or, coming down a stairway and you look up and you've got that visual wall above you. But 14-inch wreath also will work on a front door, although I do not recommend this preserved product, which we will also talk about, on a front door. I really like to focus on this work as permanent art inside the home. Okay, so we've done it all. You can see a couple little naked spots. That's okay, we'll cover it. There's more going on, lots more going on, but we've got a good solid base. So we're back to the beginning where the wire is in this, and so all I'm going to do right now is tie it off. And no scissors, wire cutters. And I will continue to stress this as we go. When we have this, when we cut wire, what we do is we take it with our wire cutters and we bend the tips over, push them down in, hammer them in, do whatever you can, just to protect the fingertips, because we're going to put a lot more on them, and it really is very, very painful if it penetrates your skin. With our woody stem ends, you can trim them if you want, but there's a oops side right there, but you know what? Oops are allowed. This is part of life. We'll fix that as we go. Okay, our next stage is to cover it with leaf. I'll be right back.